Hi there everybody, we're here with Chris Conrad, famous expert in cannabis, testifies in a lot of cases in California, and publisher of West Coast Leaf as well.
That's correct.
Thanks for taking the time.
My pleasure, Kirk.
Well, you mentioned Marc Emery and the extradition earlier in your presentation. I just wanted to get your thoughts, Chris, on what you think about what's happening to Marc Emery.
Well, I think that Marc is like a heroic figure, basically. Put his neck on the line, is willing to take the hit for freedom for a lot of people, you know what I mean? He's helped millions of people, maybe billions, a little over, but hundreds of thousands of people easily with his provision of genetic material, helping to get through their medical crisis and so forth. I have a lot of personal experience with Marc, too.
Yeah.
We've known each other since way back in the 90s. In fact, I think the last time that he came into the United States before, I was with him. We went to the Hemp Fest, and then after that he started doing the seeds in such a level he decided not to come back to the U.S. after that. And another thing I'd really say about Marc is, you know, he was a person who really, he made money doing this, but he certainly put it back into changing the laws. He's a person of a lot of integrity, and you know, I have tons of respect for Marc. I'm really sorry to see what's happening to him. I think it's a disgrace that Canada caved in and is sending him down here, because my opinion of the U.S. drug war is it's just really, it's an extension of, it's the closest thing we have to slavery. Essentially, it's an institutionalized, discriminatory and unjust system that Marc has unfortunately fallen into.
Really a victim of prohibition. And Chris, I know you spend a lot of time on the stand. You talk a lot about the way marijuana is grown and the plant size limits. We have a plant count limit in Canada, as you know, based on daily dosage. But I want to just follow up on something you said. You talked about genetic material and how a lot of that came from Marc Emery and is helping a lot of people. I wonder if you could just expand on that for a second. Let our audience know really what you're talking about.
Well, the history of cannabis from this perspective is that, from America anyway, is that we started off with basically the Mexican seed lines, and then the Colombians came in, and then Thai and Vietnamese, and so there were a couple of farmers here in California who did some breeding and keep it skunk number one, and then we had basically the three strains of that era: skunk, the silver haze, and the northern lights. And because of the pressure on them from the United States, they went to Holland and started doing the breeding over there. Well, the Dutch have a love of money, which is respectable, but they certainly did find a way of making these seeds very expensive. And so getting them in and out of Holland is also extremely difficult. But Marc then was able to get hold of those seeds and get them bred in Canada and to send them, make them available at something much closer to a reasonable price. I mean, I'm not degrading the fact that good marijuana seeds are expensive, because I understand that, but at the same time, people's wallets are only so fat.
That's right.
And so what Marc did was essentially to get the same material, which had previously only been available to people who had enough money to fly to Europe and spend inordinate amounts of money on seeds, and made it so that people all over North America could go ahead and do that. So it's an important thing.
Well, Chris, thanks very much for your time, and keep up the good work.
My pleasure, and let's get Marc out early.
Absolutely. Thank you.